Recently, Tarek started up Pro City again, and if you do not know what Valorant's Pro City is, it is pretty much a Discord server where like pros and I think the top 100 or 500 players in Radiant can apply to get into this Discord, and they can all queue games together, and it's kind of like scrims, right? It works as a private matchmaking system where all the pros, top players, and like higher ranked Radiants can like all queue up and play against each other, which creates a way more high quality and a more competitive environment, and honestly just more fun in general. And that's just from a viewer's perspective, which I'll get more into later, but let's first talk about why Pro City even needs to exist and why it's heavily relevant to like the state of the game. First of all, Pro City was created because, if you don't know, there are a ton of stream snipers, throwers, and honestly, Valorant's matchmaking at higher ranks has such a large skill disparity in some matches that it's damn near unplayable. And yes, competitive video games for a long time have had these same problems with smurfs, throwers, and whatever else. But in Valorant, it's a bit different because of how the matchmaking works. And the problem doesn't even start when you load into the game. It starts with the actual process of creating an account. Number one, the game is literally just free. It costs nothing to load in the game, right? And that's true for a lot of other games like League or CS or whatever. But step two is unlocking ranked, right? And this is where things get a little different because there's a large lack of security around the rank system. There's no multi-factor authentication. You don't have to pay for the game. All these factors make it very easy to buy and level up accounts just to sell them. If I remember correctly, while I was doing some research for this video, I saw somebody say that there was an account seller that made 100 account sales in one night. Obviously, these are like low level, nothing to them, bare bones iron accounts, because why would I use like 4 hours of my time unlocking ranked and then de-ranking myself when you could simply go on a website and buy an account that you want for $3? But it's still a problem even though we're talking about the top 1% players in the game. But the relevance to high level competitive play is because people are usually buying these accounts to just smurf and, pub stomp or whatever. But there's also a large amount of people using them to abuse the game system and just like win trade and bot their way to like Immortal and Radiant. If you're unaware, in Valorant, if you 5-stack, then it will try to level out ranks, and you can also only play against other 5-stack people. And in Valorant, if you have a duo or a trio, you cannot play together unless you're within a certain range of ranks. And this system gets removed when you 5-stack, therefore if you have like 1 or 2 Radiant or Immortal level players and 3 Irons, it is not going to be hard for them to kind of stomp a team of like 5 like Diamonds and Plats. Which leads into one of the problems that Pro City has to exist in the first place, is because there are so many win traders in higher elos. Practically, you get a few accounts or a few people to Q snipe each other and try to get on separate teams. Therefore, you can choose to lose or win the game based on whichever account you want to get to a higher rank. And like I said before, in higher elo games, there tends to be a large skill discrepancy. Not just, someone having like an off day or whatever. A lot of the time, it's people boosted to ranks that they should not be in. Literally right before I started recording this part of the video, I played a Valorant match with someone who I just thought was absolute garbage, did not know what they were doing, was sitting in corners just baiting their whole team. And I checked their tracker. All they do is 5-stack every day and they're always bottom frag. But then they can solo queue in my rank and just have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, back to the topic of win trading. And this win trading problem has become such a large issue for certain streamers or certain pros because people have been betting on their ranked matches. What they do is bet on the outcome of a ranked match, and then they'll try to Q snipe them, get on the other team and throw, or get on their team and throw. And all of these issues in ranked have caused a buildup of this ideology that trying in ranked is also just kind of frowned upon, and people get annoyed by trying. Like, this is literally a clip of me doing the most regular lurk ever and then getting called a loser after.
I have the spike.
You're a loser. Nice. Hey, every time you play this game, like I said, bro, if you don't run in and die every round, you're a loser in this game. 80% of Valorant ranked at this point is like no comm, just kind of running it down, doing your own thing, no real coordination. Sometimes the game can feel like a team deathmatch, and it kind of turns off a lot of the people who actually care about ranked or are just really trying to like have fun through being competitive. And this is a problem that is affecting like pro players and aspiring pro players, and especially tier 2, because it kind of creates the opposite of what environment they would want to play in. If you want to know if you're really improving at the game, if you want to know how good you are compared to actual good players, it is incredibly hard to do that if no one is trying and people are like, you know, not coordinated or whatever else. And honestly, this is a good chunk of where the value of Pro City comes in. Because you're competing with people who have already played the game professionally, want to play the game professionally, or are already current pros. And honestly, they're playing an entirely different game. And that's all just from the player's perspective. Let's get a bit into the viewer perspective, because in my personal opinion, this has been the most fun I have had watching Valorant in probably 2.5 years. And to be clear, I mean, it is a bit parasocial. I kind of just like to see these Valorant players actually having fun playing the game. I mean, the energy is entirely different. Like, they're actually having fun, they're bickering through the game chat, they can actually effectively combo their util together, and because they all have a decent amount of experience with actually playing the game at a higher level, they can all like play off each other. It is a 3 times better viewing experience. And with all of Pro City's success, I actually hope that the Valorant devs like look a little bit more into the rank system and figuring out everything that's wrong with it. And even though I believe that Pro City is inherently beneficial to Valorant itself, I cannot ignore the fact that there are some people that are pointing out what could be negatives of the system. Some stating that having people with bigger audiences always participating in Pro City could be negative for the up and coming and kind of unknown talent of the game. For example, if there's a really good player who would just mainly become known through playing ranked and like fighting against streamers or higher level pros, saying that it would be harder for them to get recognized when most of those people with the big audiences are playing in Pro City. And some say because of the rules and requirements to join Pro City, it is a lot harder for them to get into a higher level environment and compete around other top players. Their point being that it's a lot harder for them to gain experience and gauge their own skill levels. Some also say that inviting streamers specifically kind of causes a dilution in the competitive level of Pro City. You know, streamers who may just be more so ranked demons than they are more experienced in competitive situations. Now, I don't necessarily agree with these takes, but due to the journalistic nature of this video, I felt like I did have to throw these in instead of just only pointing out the positives. And I believe it's kind of good to spark conversation because I do want to hear your guys' opinions. And you know, if this video goes up, maybe this will reach a larger audience than I even imagined. Holy, I must have what Itachi had. Holy smoke. Yeah, anyway, I just think that pointing that out was important for like any discussions had about this scene. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Sub up. I mean, I stream occasionally. And yeah, peace.